All right, welcome back. Okay, so finishing up the Diamondback today. Let me get this turned around. Sorry, I got the game on in the background if it's a little loud. So hopefully you guys can see all this. Let me get my phone here. Of course, something went wrong. These fucking GoPros suck ass. I mean, I get it, everybody uses them, but the software sucks. All right, so let me just take it back off my head so I can make sure you guys see what I'm seeing. So I've showed all this. The only thing I've done since my last video is I have ran all my leads. I made the battery leads for the gear control light controller, which is running to this. This will actually plug into the bottom side of my board, which I'll show you guys in a second. I got my switch mounted. I just took a piece of simulated carbon, like the plastic fake carbon fiber, and mounted it and glued it on here. So I got a little switch here. I got the receivers mounted. Hold on, let me pop this one back on. I took it down to plug it in. I had it plugged in wrong. So let me, and I just hold them on with the industrial Velcro. It's plastic, so it doesn't wear out like the fuzzy stuff does. Sorry, I'm doing this inverted here. There it goes. And I got one on this side, that's my number 2, and then the number 1's on this side. So batteries are in the nose, which it worked out. So with my setup, I was able to put the power system, which is essentially runs my servos, in the nose for CG, and that's what these are. And they'll plug into the top of my board, and which I'll show you. So this is my board that goes in on top. I got the Cortex gyro, made the leads, and as you can see when you flip it over here, these 2 orange ones will plug into the power system. I've labeled them 1 and 2. That one, it goes to the battery, and then this one, which I got to screw back on, is the one that I showed you in the actual model, which has the landing gear on. So that way, if I ever need to get under here, I can pull this out without causing any issues. Plus it makes for a clean, neat setup. And based on the CG, currently my batteries, which I'm going to do here in a second, my turbine battery will mount right here, kind of like this, and then it'll come right here and just plug in right here, bam. And then this little guy, which is going to run the gears and the lights, will plug in right here. So I got to put some sticky on this, but the CG kind of has it just like this, right there. And it was like 0.03 nose heavy, which is fine, because when I put in fuel, it's going to go even more nose heavy. So what I might do is I might just slide this back just a hair, like this right here. And it'll be hard mounted with the Velcro, but I got the Velcro there. And what I'll do is once I hard mount it, I'll pop it off. And because I have it split, I'll take a piece of Velcro and put it right in the middle with a screw and then loop it around. That'll be kind of like the way to secure it. So this is double-sided adhesive, kind of like the nice trim stuff. It's real thin, good stuff. And then I took some Zap rubber glue, which is like it's almost like a goop, and just kind of run a bead all the way around it and secured it so it doesn't come off. So, and then my 2 receivers are plugged right here in the top. These 2 go to the receiver on the power system for the serial setup. And that's where it's at. I've already powered it up. I set the flaps, set neutral, and got all the directions, you know, all the controls working in the right direction. Aileron, I gotta do throws, up and down throw. I got center points for the ailerons, the flaps. Flaps are done. And then this one, the elevator, I have a little, at neutral, they're up a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna shorten the rods, because I've got the threads, I've got the ball ends kind of far out on the threads. So instead of doing a sub trim, I'm just going to shorten each one and bring them to neutral with shortening the control rod. And that's it. I got to put it up on the stand and then make sure I got the gear set up right and the lights set up and check all that. But that's it. So I will check it. I'm gonna try to check it with the kind of like doing like the finger method, you know, picking it up from the bottom to make sure and check I still just don't trust myself with the CG machine. I know it's right. I've used it on the Minion Jet and then the SU, and it's been spot on every time. I'm sure this will too. I just always, if I can, I typically like to check it just to make sure I didn't dumb thumb something or just put the wrong input in. But yeah, so kind of getting to the end of this one. Probably the only other video I might do is the run up of it, which I'll try to do maybe tomorrow or Monday. But that's about it. So far it's been an easy build. It's taken me a lot longer than normal just because I haven't been out here every night banging out. But this would be a 2-week build. I mean, honestly, if I had everything from the get-go, it would be a 2-week build. I'm just a little OCD with how I do things, so it takes me probably a week to 2 weeks longer just because of the way I am. So no real issues so far. It's been a great build. The paint's good. The layup is good. It's a little heavy, and I kind of talked to the designer about that. I think they just don't put enough. We talked about it, like T1 is not putting enough absorbent material in there to get that extra resin out. So you have a little bit more, and that's the problem with T1. They do that with a lot of their models. So it's nothing to do with the jet design or anything like that. But the quality is good. So it's been great. Everything fits together really nice, like this nose comb and everything. Everything fits really well. The only other thing to mention is I don't think they're going to make it where you can order it like the newer kits when you order them, where the pipe will stay attached to the rear section. I think that's just kind of a pain in the butt for them, so they're just going to do it this way. Now, if you want to do that, like if you're in Europe and you need to be able to take the tail section off every time, it's super simple to do. Just all you got to do is push the pipe back a little bit further and make a mount on that rear bulkhead, which bolts up, you know, which pushes up to that bulkhead right there. So essentially, you're just going to have to move the pipe back, or you could even just make longer arms and put those arms further back, and problem solved. That would be kind of the easiest thing to do, I think. And I don't think they're going to change the access for the rudder to a top. I think I mentioned that. I think it's too much to do in there, so they're going to leave it with a screw. From what I understand, the screw coming from the bottom, so you can still get in there. Like, you can run your hand up in there with a ball driver and take that screw out and take the rudder off if you want to. I don't typically take the rudders off. The only one I take the rudder off is my Minion Jet, just because it's so damn big. But all my others, I leave the rudders on. So, but if you needed to, you can still get to it and do it like this. It's just not as easy as coming straight in the top. So, but yeah, so definitely giving this one a thumbs up. It's a great build. It's a great model. I've seen them fly. Granted, I'm not as good as the guys that were flying it, you know, kind of hot dogging with it. So I'll kind of be more your, you know, average user, I would say, you know, when it comes to flying. Like, I can turn and burn, but that's just not how I fly, you know. But I will give a kind of final review on how it flies and everything after I get some flights on it next week at Georgia, assuming nothing goes crazy with the Maiden. So, but don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, give it a thumbs up, thumbs down if you would like, and you know, if you got any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them in the comments and I'll get back to them. I'll get to them later. So you guys have a good one. Cheers.